Hello beautiful people. In this video I'm going to be trying to learn some new skateboard tricks that I'm really scared to do. I don't know how I'm going to go about it. Actually, this is the end of the video. I know how I'm going to go about it. Let's rewind to a couple days ago when I first started trying these new skateboard tricks, and hopefully there's some things in this video that you can take away into your skateboard progression at any level, whether you're already pro, whether you've never skated in your life. I think there will be some findings throughout this experience that you can take away. Let's jump into it. So my goal for today is just try to do a Madonna, which I think hopefully I can do. It's basically lean to tail, which I'm very capable of doing, but then you kick that front foot off, and I'm gonna try it over here in the deep end of this bowl because I think that's where I can get enough air to really have enough time to get my foot off and then back on. I'm really scared of it, but it's something I've been wanting to learn for a long time. So I'm gonna spend at least like a solid hour, maybe not an hour, solid 45 minutes at least, just focusing on that trick. All right, well, it's definitely not how I envisioned doing it. Ooh, sweaty. But that's where I got in 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so. And you know, I'm not mad about it. At least I did one. It's not how I want. Like I said, my foot wasn't really off. It's kind of like sitting on the deck. But one thing I realized with this trick is like, it is a lot about getting onto the deck. I know how to do lean to tails fairly well. It's much more of a commitment, where this one, I feel like you kind of got to get on the deck and shift your body weight onto the top. And that's what's really challenging for me, struggling with. But I also got some frontside airs, working on some frontside airs. I really don't know how to do that trick very well. Some of you mentioned to do a tutorial, and I'm like, I don't think you want a tutorial from me. Big Al did a tutorial. It's really good for frontside airs. So I've been trying to use that like vacuum technique, essentially, that he went over. So working on the frontside airs, hopefully we get a better judo, because that's not exactly how I want to do it, but I think that's it's a baby step. It's step one to the progression of doing it properly, and that's just how tricks are. You can't always just do them exactly how you want right away. You kind of got to step some tinkering around. Yesterday I was really struggling to grind the pole coping. It was just really sticky. It's getting weathered, so I'm gonna give it a clear coat of clear enamel today. You can use clear lacquer too. It's kind of the secret sauce to getting pole coping grinding nice and good. The metal coping is pretty sticky too, but you don't want to use this on metal coping. I have some wax I'll probably use on the metal coping. Just getting kind of rusty, weathered from the season, and yeah, I really want to work on some grinds today, as well as frontside airs. I really am not good at frontside airs. I'm just trying to improve them. I always grab at the coping, so yesterday I was doing a lot of repetitive frontside airs, even though they weren't great, just to get more comfortable with it. And today I'm hoping I can like launch in the air and then grab after the coping and do more of a proper frontside air. So that's my goal today, and to get a judo in a proper fashion, because yesterday was, I don't know, I guess it was a starting point. I'm not mad at it. I want to do it a lot better today though. getting greedy. Last one was good before I slammed too. I was hyped on it. I wanted to get like one better one more like higher, kicked out, laying in it properly, but I guess it's a little bit improvement from yesterday. I'm not super mad about it, although I did want more. I got some better frontside airs. I feel like I still like look like I'm doing them super sneaky. I feel like I'm doing them super sneaky, but at least I'm getting more confident with going in the air. I feel like soon I'll be able to like actually launch up. I'm getting more comfortable in the air, so that's a good thing. It just goes to show, don't get too greedy when you land a trick. I just went for another, whatever you call it, judo thing, and I don't know what happened. I just lost control. I was too much in my mind. Yeah, got too greedy. We gotta call it, because I got a heel bruise on that one. I've had a heel bruise for a while. I just something weird, like landed on the coping with my heel or something, and now it's kind of like really hot. So yeah, time to get some food. So I've been running my last resort for my knee pad shoes because I didn't want to ruin my brand new Vans Lizzie Armento shoes. I did a whole shoe review on those. I think they'll be really good for knee slides, but as you can see, it ruins your shoes, those knee slides. I'm almost down to the rubber on the top of these shoes now. Like it's almost breaking through, as you can see. So might be the last session on these shoes. Also, quick shout out to the homies in Arizona. They gave me these pants, the GCU Skate Club, Grand Canyon State University. Pretty sure that's what it is. They have a skate club and they have a skate park there, and super rad crew. I got to meet up with them a couple weeks ago, and they gave me some pants. I turned them into shorts. These are like my knee padding shorts. So I sort of have like an outfit for knee sliding, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because knee sliding is a whole different new concept to me. I never knew really how to knee slide as good as I do now. Like when I was really young, I knew how to knee slide, and then I gave up on it because, you know, identity and security issues. Now I'm back to my knee pads and my helmet, so I can just not have to worry about those little things, and I can focus on progressing. Today is day 3. Hopefully I can get some better frontside airs and some better judos. That's really what I've been working on throughout this video, and hopefully to show you the process that like a lot of people don't show you. You know, it kind of just you see the tricks, and I wanted you to see sort of my insecurities almost in a way. Like of me trying the trick at first, I was like, I had no clue about the judo. Frontside air I had a little bit of an idea, but with the judo, I was like flying out onto the deck. I was doing all sorts of weird things, and now I think I have a better understanding of how to do it. So hopefully I get a couple good ones today, and then we'll kind of round this video up with what I've learned and what I've sort of can take away from this process. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm a little disappointed in myself. This isn't the progression that I really wanted to show you and show, but also it's like kind of realistic, and I think that was a more important process of this whole video, is to show you that, you know, process and getting better at skateboarding and learning tricks doesn't come overnight. Like I've been coming here every day trying to get better at those frontside airs and those judos. The frontside air was a happy accident. I actually wasn't trying to get better at frontside airs. I just felt like I needed confidence to get into the judo. So a frontside air was like a little bit out of my comfort zone. So every time I did a frontside air, I then tried to judo right afterwards. And that kind of helped me get my special meter, my confidence up, if you will. I think the big takeaway for this video, hopefully for you guys, is to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. When I was first trying frontside airs in the judos, which aren't, you know, any place where I can brag about them yet, I will say I feel more confident with them, and I feel more comfortable trying them, and as much as it's still scary every time I go, I think I'm getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Is the most important part of all this sort of like learning discipline and learning skateboard tricks, is that you kind of just have to put yourself in that fire and then you learn it. I can sit here and tell you everything that you need to do frontside airs and judos, which actually can't because I don't know how to do them very well yet. But my overarching point is I can sit here and explain it all, but it's really not going to do anything for you. Going out there and just trying every single day is what's really going to get you better at skateboarding or anything in life, right? It's like you just have to be persistent. So yeah, a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a downfall because I wanted to get boosted frontside airs and boosted judos into the tail, but I also have to be realistic with my expectations. I got to get to work. I got like 5 minutes to get to work, and just like you, I got a normal job, and it just goes to show, like, no matter what age, no matter what you got going on in life, you can be persistent with something that you love and just go do something. That's for me, skateboarding, learning this, trying to progress. It's like, it's all for me, it's not for anybody else, although I do enjoy sharing my experience with you. So I want to be honest with you, I'm not quite at the point where I feel like I can start editing this video. Right now, I should be done. I told myself I'm gonna give myself 3 sessions and just be transparent with that process, but right now I'm just feeling greedy, and what I mean by that is I want more. I want that satisfaction that I'm really looking for with a good judo and a good frontside air, or just progressing into some uncomfortable areas. So I'm giving this one more session, and I mixed it up. I'm going to the Vista skate park here today because I felt like I was hitting that same wall, trying the same tricks. I was a little bit in this like repetition of not really changing what I was doing. I sort of just started like doing the same thing over and over. And I think that happens with skating. You got to change your environment, change the wall you're skating. So hopefully I can be greedy, but also walk away with something today. Get a little bit of a better judo. And I want to do a fakie frontside nose pick. That's a trick I haven't done in a long time. I've done a few. I've never done it on something big as the bank to wall here, but hopefully I can get a fakie nose pick for you as well, and just kind of show what it's like trying to get better at skating, trying to progress at skating. It's not always as easy as it seems, and a lot of skaters hold themselves to such a high standard. I'm not one of those skaters, but I still have my own standard. Every skater has their own standard, and that's a good thing because it kind of pushes you to strive for more, although that can be toxic in itself. But that's enough rambling. I'm gonna try to get one more progression session in here for you guys, get a better judo, get that fakie nose pick to show you the process of what skaters go through to learn stuff. I think a common misconception when you're learning how to skateboard or when you're trying to do new tricks is that you just have to figure the trick out and you're gonna get more confident as you go, and then eventually you'll just know that you can land it. I don't think that's always true. Like right now, I was trying these backside curl slides. I got to a point where I knew I kind of just had to pull the trigger where I was like willing to fall. And that's the point I'm getting at. You kind of have to accept that there might be a slam involved in the process. You can only get so close to where you eventually just commit. That's what I'm getting at. Eventually you just have to commit. And luckily after I just committed, I did get the curl. First one that I really committed to. And then I got the no comply disaster and no comply tail right after. And if I just went for those tricks right away without doing that trick beforehand, there's no way I would have got him. I was just had my special meter up, as I like to say. You basically get your confidence meter up after you try something you're not very comfortable with. And then you get more confident with trying things that you're not comfortable with. And I think that is something that you always have to do when you're trying to learn new skateboard tricks. Now I'm gonna try a couple fakie frontside nose picks back to regular on the banked wall. I think the scariest part for me to this trick is actually doing a rock fakie on this vert wall over here, or just getting speed to it is actually gonna be the hardest part. Once I get into it, I think I'll be able to pull it. So I gotta figure out how to get the speed, how to get the trick, and then how to commit to it. Oh my goodness, that is what skateboarding is all about. Obviously it's the next day. I couldn't pull it off yesterday, the sun, everything else. I came back this morning and I got it, but it was no easy feat. I still had a battle. I think like a combination of the sun and being exhausted from a long day, which is something you kind of gotta like pick and choose your battle. If you're someone like me in your 30s trying to skateboard, probably better to actually skate before work, because after work is such an exhausting session. I was so drained yesterday mentally. As much as skateboarding is physical, there's a lot of mental aspect to it as well. A couple takeaways from this battle in particular was, one, I was like already mentally drained. Like I said, the sun was messing with me. Everything was just like mentally not good and set up for me. So I came back the next day. I think that was a big learning, big lesson from this one, was like, sometimes you just gotta accept that today is not your day. Not every day is gonna be your best skate day. Like some days I go to skate and it's a bad skate day, but I still go out there and I show up. It's kind of like if your boss is an asshole to you, the next day you're not gonna not come to work because he's an asshole. You're still gonna show up and you're gonna try again. It's kind of like the philosophy here is that you have to keep showing up even if you feel defeated at times, because I could have easily like just given up on this trick, finished the video, and then moved on. But however, I think that plays a role into your ego in a way, and destroy your ego, of course. But at the same time, you have to build up your confidence, and I think that does sit in the chamber of ego, if you will. So I think that was one of the big takeaways. The other thing is obviously setting up a good window to skate, because sometimes when I go skate, I'm saying, hey, I got an hour, and that's not always realistic to get a new trick or learn a new trick. So it's okay to set up healthy expectations, but at the same time, you don't want to always adjust them just because like you're not meeting your own expectations. You got to hold yourself accountable, essentially. So if you're a subscriber, I love you. If you're not, what are you doing? My point being is that you probably notice I am wearing a lot more safety gear than normal. Got the helmet, got the knee pads. I'm trying to do it more often, especially when learning tricks. I think it's a smart thing to do. My buddy Al hit his head recently in New York. It's a really scary accident. I have had people that passed away by hitting their head and skateboarding. So trying to be more responsible, wear my helmet when I'm trying things out of my comfort zone, or just in general, just get more comfortable with wearing the helmet. So yeah, only downfall to wearing the helmet, I've noticed it gets so sweaty and gets like irritating on the top layer of your forehead. That really sucks. So the objective of this video, like I was saying earlier, is to show you the process and what it's like to get better at skateboarding. Me in my 30s, you can be in your 50s, 60s, 80s, it really doesn't matter. Well, maybe 80s it does matter, but the point is that it's a process and everyone does it differently. I think when you see people doing trick tips and things like that, I think sometimes it's hard to really see the process that they're taking to learn the trick. Of course, I can dive into all the technical aspects like where my feet were for this trick and all that stuff, but I don't think that's always helpful. Sometimes it's helpful to just show you the transparent process, that it's not as easy as it may feel or see. For the skater, a lot of times skaters that are doing a trick, it might look like super easy to you. The chances are they've just went and tried that a million times. Like the fakie nose pick, I probably tried it at least 100 times. I only landed 2. I actually landed 1, or I landed 3 actually. I did land 1 that wasn't on camera. My SD card ran out, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash that like button if you did, I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're not already, consider it. If you don't want to, that's okay too. I love everyone that is, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Mash.